Just a disclaimer that my speech is not from ChatGPT. Okay, so I have always been seeing in my life, being a child from a single parent, my dad at the age of 11, 9, 10, 11, 12, he always used to make us tiffin boxes. One day he even burnt our burgers. I remember going to school and I saw the burnt burgers, and always people would come to him, "Mamad, કેમ કરે છે આ બધું? બીજી બાયરી કરી નાખ, દાદાને કે તને કરી દે." So when I saw this topic, I'm like, I am taking this and I'm going to rock the stage. Salam alaikum and a very good afternoon to you all. My topic for today is basic life skills are not gender roles. How many of us still go through a scenario where our grandmothers would tell us, "Ki to rad dhani je ghar mein vinan joai." I have faced it. How many parents still think that cooking and cleaning is something only for the girls? And that is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. There is a research that states that in USA, 2 in 5 women who work full-time and have a partner say that their tasks are still the same at home. Historically, cooking and cleaning were assigned to women and they were linked to gender roles and identity of a woman. Mari wow bau sari che kan ke fine khawanu rande che. How many of us have heard it? There is a study that suggests that stereotypes like the ones mentioned are not only just like the ones mentioned, I mentioned cooking and cleaning, are not only strong today, but they are almost the same as they were 30 years back. Can you believe it? 30 years back. So I have a question. Think, dirtiness is perceived by everyone at home, but women are expected to clean it. Eating is done by everybody at home, but women are expected to cook. Now the question is, if it is just a role for one, why do I feel that it is imperative for, as in the previous generations, it was just a role for one. So why do I feel that it is important today that women and men both have equal roles? First of all, it is always better to have a new skill. It is always better to be good at everything. And we don't want to be limited, we as women do not want to be limited to homework like cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids. So why are men limited to only bringing money at home, being the bread earners? I was in university, York University, and I would often see a line outside Popeyes, and most of them were men. However, on the other hand, women were really less. Why is that? Because since a very young age, men are not taught to do these works. Now the question is, what can be done to stop this? What are the things that we can do to eradicate these thoughts? So the first thing is that I always believed, and I still believe, I as a person believe that if something has to start, it starts from home. I have a friend of mine who loves sleeping, and when I talk about loves sleeping, she loves sleeping, and her daughter is completely like her, and she'll always call me and tell me, "Dah, Khudeja, my daughter is just like me." So if you teach your children from a young age to share the work at home and divide the work at home, it is what they will see and what they will learn. And second thing that we can do is that you can talk to your children about gender roles. You can talk to them about how gender roles are not limited to one person, like women doing all this work and men being the bread earner. And the third thing is that we have to be aware of sexism. We have to question, we have to speak about our stereotypes that we take as normal. We think these things are normal, but in reality, they are social constructions. Bibi Aisha was asked, what are some qualities of the Prophet that you love? Of course, there's so many qualities of the Prophet, but one quality that she said is that, my husband always assists me in housework. He always says that housework is a sunnah. He would clean and help at home, and he would see his own needs rather than demanding his wife. And he would clean and see his clothing himself. So all in all, cooking and cleaning is not a gender role. It is an essential and imperative role that everyone should have. Thank you so much. Questions, please.
Thank you so much, Khudeja, for that interesting perspective and something for, like, again, food for thought for all of us about how we are governed by so many roles. I welcome questions from the judges first. She's left you speechless, okay? Do you have questions?
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so I'll help.
Okay.
I like the examples that you gave with the personal experience. When you talk about how it's important to start with at home, do you think that that is a very fundamental stage? Because I know from personal experience, when I grew up, I never used to do anything at home. The most I would be expected to do was to pick up plates and take it to the kitchen. But when I grew up and I had to move and stay alone, I had to figure out that if I don't do this, nobody's going to do it for me. So I found that it was necessary for someone to really teach me and to do it myself. So with that context, do you really think that still applies? Do you have your thoughts on that?
Well, you're talking that is it important, you're asking, is it important to learn it from home and rather not?
I want your thoughts on this. Yeah. You talked about how it's important that this thing started at home. Giving an example that they did start at home with me, that expectation was never there, but I think I turned out okay. So
Yeah,
now,
I get it now. Okay, so I believe it really depends on person to person. It is good to start at home. It is okay to start at home, but it depends on person to person and how your learning or your thought process is. For example, I used to not know cooking. I didn't know cooking at all. And day before yesterday, I made donuts for the first time, and my husband loved it. How did I learn it? I learned it when I got married. Almost 2 years of marriage is when I learned it. So it really depends on person to person. Some people learn it from their houses, from their childhood, and they grow up with it, while some people learn under pressure, is what I think.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to ask, you're saying it's person to person, it depends on mindset. But if you look at today's society, if you look at the present times that we are living in, working for women is not just an option anymore. You don't do it because of creativity or time pass, whatever. It's a necessity in a lot of houses. There are a few who work because they want to. But globally, a lot of women are working because they need to. The rate of expenses, lifestyle, everything is so high, one person's salary or income is not enough. Keeping that in mind, keeping in mind our present community, do you think mindset or individual thinking is going to make our young men more hands-on and erase this line of gender inequality or equality or these roles? I'm talking about our community. Without any pushing, without any other outside influence, do you think our young boys and men are going to suddenly get up and start doing this?
I might hurt this side of the audience, but I don't think so. I think it will always be some sort of pressure which will get them to do that. Like I said, boys in university, why were they buying food in university? Why not cook? Every dormitory used to have kitchens, so why not that? I know some people, I have examples of some people who literally, like men, who would literally work only if they have someone pushing them. However, again, it differs. I don't want to hurt that side again. However, it differs. Some do it out of love, out of affection. Some do it because they see their wives are tired. My wife is tired. She has a 9 to 5 job. She's come home. She has kids. She has to cook. She has to clean the house. She has to do this and that. So they do it out of love. It really depends on person to person. Some need that push and some will do it without the push, of course. Thank you so much.
So I'm just going to play the devil's advocate role over here. I'm not trying to go against the topic.
Yeah.
With all due respect to, but I'm going to ask you something personally, as in you. Looking at the world today and where we're going, if women are the bread earners, if that's what we're trying to say.
Women are, sorry, pardon?
Bread earners.
Are the sole bread earners or one of the bread?
We're almost
Okay.
at an equal status right now. But looking around the world globally, not just Dar es Salaam, do you really feel that men are not cooking and cleaning? Take into consideration the fast food chains, the restaurants you visit, the 5-star hotels you live in. Just think about that. What is the ratio over there of men and women? Who is actually doing the cooking and cleaning in such areas?
They definitely are. In fact, when I was doing my research, I saw that most of the top chefs are men. Most of the top chefs are men. So I was talking about how it is important for that to be it should be a role for both. However, men are not less. Men also do a lot of work.
Thank you, Khudeja. Thank you.